Hey Wildcats, it's Dr. Love here, and we are continuing on in Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's library, and we are in chapter 28 today, so grab your books and let's read. Now then, said Mr. Lemoncello, are you ready to play Risking Everything for 5 little library cards? Kyle swallowed hard, and then he nodded. All right, you maniac McGee's, here's your picture puzzle. The category is famous quotes. You have 60 seconds to solve this rebus. Wait a second, said Akemi. What's a rebus? You figure out the words in a phrase by looking at pictures and symbols, said Kyle. For instance, said Miguel, the letters R and E plus a picture of a school bus would equal rebus. Oh, okay, said Akemi. If you guys say so. Are you ready to play? Asked Mr. Lemoncello. Kyle looked at his teammates who nodded. Yes, sir. Then on your mark, get set, go, dog, go. Mr. Lemoncello's image disappeared. Tick-tock clock music started playing. The video screens all projected the same picture. And that's what you should be seeing in your book right there. We're officially dead, said Akemi. 55 seconds, said Mr. Lemoncello. Okay, we break it up 4 ways, said Kyle. The first and third rows are similar, so I'll do them. I'll do the last one, said Akemi. I'll take the second row, said Miguel. I'm 4, said Sierra. 50 seconds, said Mr. Lemoncello. Everyone got to work. Mine is some guy hitting himself in the thumb, but with a grr and an O, muttered Akemi. Then the male symbol where the LE equals RX marks. Does that make sense? Hello, Kyle, is my second half marks? Kyle didn't answer. He was too busy deciphering his own clue lines. Outlet, changed the let to side, he mumbled. Golf minus the G and the L, the letter A. 40 seconds. Dog. He dropped to the third line. He just needed the first word. Bowling pins without the P, but add an IDE, I'd. 30 seconds. Kyle glanced at Miguel. He was moving his lips, mouthing out his part of the quote. Sierra, too. You guys ready? Kyle whispered. Hang on, said Miguel. 20 seconds. Okay, go. Kyle read the first line. Outside of a dog, Miguel picked up the thread. A book is man's best friend. Kyle continued. Inside of a dog, Sierra took over. It's too dark to read. Akemi brought them home. Groucho Marx. Is that your final answer? Asked Mr. Lemoncello. Yes, said Kyle, and then repeated the entire quote. Outside of a dog, a book is man's best friend. Inside of a dog, it's too dark to read. Groucho Marx. Bells rang. Chaser lights flashed. The audience went wild. Akemi and Sierra actually squealed and hugged each other. You are correct, shouted Mr. Lemoncello. There's no dead end in Norvelt. Not today. Take those 5 library cards, Team Kyle. You won them, fair and square. Charles and Andrew heard a commotion on the 3rd floor. Bells ringing, an audience whooping it up, girls squealing. Come on, said Charles. They raced up the stairs and peeked into the electronic learning center. Kyle, Keeley, and his teammates were all hugging each other and slapping high fives. On every video screen in the game room, Charles could see a pictogram puzzle. What's going on in there? Whispered Andrew. They might be gaining on us, Charles whispered back. We better pick up our pace. Quick, where would I find a book called Hoosier Hospitality, written by Eve Healy Aristy? The 900s room. Well, let's go. Charles and Andrew scurried back to the 2nd floor in the 900s room, where they found Haley Daly holding Hoosier Hospitality by Eve Healy Aristy. Oh, hello, you guys, she said, slamming the book shut. Charles moved toward her slowly. Find anything interesting in that book, Haley? Not really, she giggled. Just a bunch of dumb junk about Indiana. Charles knew she was hiding something. I wonder, Haley, if you and I might share a quiet word? He turned to Andrew. In private. Does that mean I'm supposed to leave? Yes, Andrew, it's for the good of the team. Trust me. Okay, but I'll be right outside that door if you decide to double-cross me or something. Thank you, Andrew. This will only take a quick minute. Heckelman left the room. Smiling, Charles moved even closer to Haley, so close he could smell her bubblegum, or shampoo, maybe both. "Let's step over here," he said, taking Haley by the elbow. "I found another fascinating book I think you'll just love." He guided her to a spot behind the bookcase where their conversation couldn't be observed by the security camera blinking up in the ceiling, and Haley went with Charles. If he had been looking for the same book she'd just found, if he had been looking for the same book she'd just found, that meant he was playing the library escape game along a similar path. Charles Chiltington might have clues Haley could use, clues she needed. "Rumor has it," Charles whispered, "that your parents wrote your library essay for you." Inside, Haley was grinning. Obviously, Charles would try to bully her into joining his team. Fine. She'd pretend to be frightened. "What?" she whispered back, pretending to be terrified. "Well, that's a lie. My dad just helped me with some of the spelling." "Aha! So you admit it. All the spelling in your essay was not your own." Okay, this was going to take more acting skill than usual. Having someone check your spelling wasn't against anybody's rules for anything. She widened her eyes, made her lips quiver. "What do you want, Charles?" "For you to join my team." "Why should I do that?" "Two reasons. One, if you're on my side, your flagrant plagiarism remains our dirty little secret. Two, I know what to do with that silhouette card you just found in the Hoosier Hospitality book." "You do?" "Oh yes, if we share our clues, the pictures will create a phrase telling us how to find the alternate exit." Haley smiled. For real. This was working out perfectly. She'd get all their clues, and even if they all won together, Mr. Lemoncello would definitely make her the real star of his TV commercials. She had zazz. Charles and Andrew did not. "Okay," she said, "deal. I'm on your team." And then she handed Charles the clue she had found in her Hoosier book. "Of course," said Charles. "After all, Indiana is the Hoosier state." Hey, thanks for reading Chapter 28. I'll see you in Chapter 29.